Hi everybody, welcome back. My name is Chris. We're playing City Skylines and we are looking at creating an oil industry, which is going to be very interesting, along with using the more effective transfer mod. And we're going to play in this area, so we're going to take it from a 0 level to a level 5, and hopefully we're going to get a factory, warehouses, and the effective transfer mod is going to actually demonstrate effective transfers. Now, hands up, I did make a little bit of a muck up. I did record this yesterday for about 3.5 hours, and I somehow managed to set my capturing system to capture my Go XLR broadcast mix, and therefore I got the sound from my Spotify music in the background. Because that's copyright material, I can't use any of the audio, so I've gone off and deleted the entire area. I'm going to start afresh once again. So here we go. Let's build an oil industry. For those of you who have never, or this is the first time, or you've been playing City Skylines but you haven't built an industry, welcome, and we are going to do it now. The important thing is you do need the industry's DLC, otherwise you cannot do anything. So I've already put a bit of a road layout in. We've got a rubbish collection, a small Welsh police station, because there will be a bit of crime around here, and we just now need to mark it up. So we got to go off and paint the area. We got to go and select the industry, and we're just gonna whack one in. Don't need to be overly concerned about where it goes, but we're going to put it all the way around this area. Now, for those of you who are thinking I've jumped ahead, of course I have. And why are we doing it in this area? Well, just here for resources, we can check out here is a lovely large area of oil. Now, I've marked beyond it because I'm not going to be using this area for fertile land, but I've marked it over because one of the very first things you have to do to be able to get an oil industry going is you have to put in the oil industry main building, and putting it here would effectively be a waste. So I'm going to stick it on this little side road just there, and now right away here it is, the evergreen refining site. I don't think oil is a evergreen, that sort of goes with environment friendly, but anyway, I digress. So what have we got? We are currently not producing anything. We've got no oil, therefore we can't make any petroleum or plastics, but we do need some form of processing for that. But what we have got, and unfortunately because I've got a mod on which allows me to see everything straight away, I am actually using the Skylines Paradox wiki to tell me what I should have at this point. And I'm basically only got a small oil pump, and I've got a processing plant that allows me to produce something. I haven't worked that out yet, and we have got a bit of storage for that as well, which is going to be quite handy. So we're going to put in just a few of these little areas up top. I'm going to press I to get out of this particular view, and straight away I'm going to pop them in somewhere around here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just draw a little line on that road, so bear with while I do that. I'm just using the picker tool here to pick my road, so I'm going to pop that down. There we go. And now we can go back to putting in a number of items. Now obviously before I do that, if we just quickly check, to move up a level we need to hit 2 targets. We have to have over 150 workers, and we need to hit 500 resource units. So if we look at the item itself, it will tell us how many people it offers, 18 workplaces, and you can also see a number of production rate units it does and what energy. So we're going to stick some in just here. This probably will get us a good number of trucks operational, and it can cause a fair amount of congestion at the same time. So here we go. I'm going to stick a load of these in, and shortly they should start moving trucks around. Now we're going to be producing oil, so the best thing here for us to do is we can have a bit of a storage area, and we've got a small crude oil tank, so we can choose that. I think that's this one just here, and we can stick it somewhere close by. Now these can actually be stored outside of the industrial area, which could be handy if you've got places where you want to be able to do it. But I'm going to stick it just there, because what I'd really like to be able to do, and with the effective transfer mod, it would be really nice to be able to see trucks going from here to here and back again, and just literally moving from one place to another, filling up this area here. We don't want to get to a situation, ideally, we don't want to see when it says not enough buyers. That tends to mean that it's run out of freight trucks, because all of them are being used, and it's because they're on long distance journeys. They are going all the way out of town or going to somewhere else that needs to oil, and because of that, you've then basically got a backup of oil, a backup of resource you can't do anything with. So hopefully we're going to just leave it there for a quick second, and let's just see if we get a few trucks. Just while I'm doing that, I'm just going to modify some of these turning junctions here just to make sure the arrow's in the right way, and I don't believe we really need traffic lights in these areas. So let's just wait a second and see what happens. So that's good. So far we've got one truck going off. Hopefully he's going to come back from there and he's going to head into this. Yeah, so we've got a bit of activity. We've got some oil coming through. That's really good. So I think that is being done because I've got the effective, or the more effective transfer mod. Without that, you tend to have a bit of a problem. All the trucks just disappear out and you just have a bit of a problem. Now I am generating oil, and shortly this thing is going to be full. So we now need to go off and put some kind of tool in that allows us to use that oil and produce some form of raw material, not a processed material, should I say. So we've got the oil sludge, which is this one here. Now that produces petroleum bollocks, so we can stick that. I'm going to stick that just there, like that. We're going to stick it there. Now this, in theory, is now asking for materials. It hasn't got any. It needs oil to make the petroleum. So I'm kind of hoping now, if we watch again, we should suddenly start to have a influx of vehicles. That's going from the tank facility off and back. Let's just see, that should do the same again. So you saw that the other little truck came out as soon as something came in, so that's obviously going to it. So also, I think the effective mod that I'm using at the moment is using warehouse first. So it takes all of the raw materials to some kind of storage location, and away we go. So there you go, that has done it. We've now got something. We're producing petroleum. Now we don't really want to ship petroleum off too far, because that will just slow everything down. So we've not got anything moving at the moment, but let's just have a look. We've got a bit of petroleum, we're moving up, we're getting some workers, we could be good. So what we're going to do really quickly, if I don't exit the game by accident, is we're just going to pop over here, I think, and we're going to whack in some warehouse, because I think that's what is definitely needed. Now I want to find a particular road. There's an industry road that we can use. Going to change it. I'm using the find it mod just here. That one looks excellent. We're going to put that somewhere close to this. We're going to push it out like so. We're going to go over here. We're going to find warehouses, and we're going to use one of these. Let's stick that just there. We're just going to choose it, and we want this to be balanced, and we want it to take petroleum. So hopefully what we should see ever so shortly, so what we should see now is, hopefully we should see some traffic moving from this. Going to take the moving mod off, and it's going to be making petroleum, and we should see something moving over into, do we see any? No, they're all going, look, they're all heading out of town at the moment, which is rather annoying, and they should be going to, oh, that one has gone where we wanted to go. So we have got a little bit of moving backwards and forwards, which is exactly what we wanted it to do. So far we have got a rather successful looking feature. We've got transportation between the pumps, the storage, the raw processing, and a storage yard over in the distance. So we're getting there. We are close to hitting our resource levels and the numbers of workers. So let's just wait for that to happen. So we've just hit the actual resource units processed. We've gone over 500. Now we're just waiting to hopefully get 5 more workers. Okay, so we've achieved it. We've hit the next level. So now we can start adding a few more bits and pieces. So the first thing we can really look at is we have got a small oil drilling rig. It produces more units per week. It's a little bit bigger, so we're going to take out the small pumping stations and replace them with the small oil drilling rigs. Okay, so we now got some of the small oil drilling rigs available to us. We should be able to see that they can start producing. They have more freight trucks, they can produce more stuff, so I'm hoping that this will prove it. I'm just going to do a little change here. I'm going to put a little bit of the old that stuff down, just makes it look a little bit more kind of industrial. I think we sweep it around like that. And what's next? We can obviously start looking at 2 of the other things we've got. So what other things have we picked up? We can now have the petrochemical plant added, and we've also got the oil industry barracks. We've also got the ability to put a crude oil storage cavern, which allows us to put even more storage in. So let's go and add a few of those things now. As I said previously, we don't need the workers' barracks to be actually in the resource area as long as it's in the industry area, and we're going to stick just a couple of those in. Now every time you put one of these on, you can get a 5% efficiency. Now I've got unlimited money, so I can do this, but you should be able to see down the bottom here my efficiency now has increased, which is fantastic. Overall, I'm still importing more oil than I need, and I am generating a bit of petroleum but no plastics. So let's put something in. We're going to use another one of those industrial roads because I quite like the look. So let's just take this, and we're going to put one, I think, just here next to this. I'm going to join it up and we're going to make it a little bit longer. So now we can put in a few of the other bits and pieces. So we want to put the cavern in. So let's find the storage cavern. As I said before, I've got everything unlocked, so there it is. This can store an awful lot, so we're going to stick one of those in here. And then the other thing is we've got a system for being able to process the petrochemical plant. Let's have a look. So that's, I believe, this one just here. And we're going to stick that one right next to it. So we should be able to see as well, this is going to start filling up with oil. This can start having goods, and it's going to start being able to produce plastic. And if that's the case, we need to put another warehouse in, I think. Okay, so we now got plastics and petroleum. So this is looking good so far. We've got products coming out, and these are now being shipped out. Look, they are taking a load of stuff. I imagine they're going to head out. They're exporting them out of town, which fair enough. But we have got the potential now to put a factory in, and wonder if there's a factory that we can use. So let's just have a look at this. We're going to put another road in, I think. I quite like the look of this. It looked pretty good yesterday when I did it. So factories, what factories have we got? So if we have a look, there is, that's no good, household plastic factory. What's this? This requires petroleum and plastic. So in theory, sticking one of these just here, I'm going to use the move it more just to bring it back, should, and move that back a little bit, move that back a bit. This one should mean, let's have a look, requires petroleum and plastics. We should be able to see trucks, once they've got some goods, coming from this to this and in and producing. Come here. That's running to the warehouse yard. So I wonder if we can just name these. What's this? This is a... Let's give it a name, shall we? Let's give it a name. So we're giving them some names. We've got a little bit of storage, and we hopefully should be able to get something going in here, and we should be able to get some work going. As long as this factory is outputting stuff, which it is, we've got nothing moving at the moment, but I'm hoping shortly we should see something moving from here outwards. So let's also put a warehouse next to this one here. So now I'm going to put a little warehouse here. This warehouse, we will make it one that actually takes products, so unique factory products from a factory into it. So we should see, what's going on there? We should see a little bit of stuff occurring around the spots. Let's move that around a little bit. There you go. I'm just going to do, again, a bit of traffic management. Like so. In fact, I don't really think these need any traffic lights. So what we should see, hopefully, this will start making stuff once it's getting goods, and we should start seeing stuff being put into this factory. And we're waiting for this to move up to the next level, so we're not far from the resource units. We're a little bit lacking on here, so just in the meantime, just for a little bit of fun, I'm going to put a bit of concrete just here. I like a bit of concrete around these big buildings. They are kind of used for that. In fact, I might just concrete over there as well and just make it all, look at that, it's kind of like, ooh, it's not a very friendly thing to do for the environment, putting tons and tons of concrete down. Just get that again, and just maybe a little bit of something crept up there. Okay, let's watch this for a few minutes and see what, if we can get it all in frame, what is going to happen. Let's watch it. So currently we've not got any plastics going on, but that's because this has to be at a certain level, because it's in balanced mode before it'll actually start shipping anything to this factory just here. So we just need to wait a little bit for the plastics to get built up, and then we should start seeing a little bit of movement around the place. So we can now see that actually the factory is now producing stuff. We're going to whack that up. We're going to go maximum capacity on this one, and hopefully what we should see is a truck. This one. Let's have a look where this is going. That one. Perfect. So we've got, I believe, the more effective transport mod is now working to a T. We have got the perfect supply and demand system. Oil, raw material, being refined into a processed material. That processed material is going to a factory and then being made into a product, and the product is being stored in a factory. And then once it's been delivered, we should start seeing the factory shipping that stuff out to a commercial zone. Brilliant. And all we got to do now is wait for level 3. Speak of the devil, I think this one, yep, is delivering it to a boutique, which is awesome. So it's actually doing everything it should do. So we are getting very, very close now. We are almost got the number of workers to get to the next level, and we have almost got the number of resource units. Now you could probably have more workers. We've got enough workers. We are almost there. So we're almost going to be at level 3. And what will level 3 give us? Wow. We've got a large oil pumping station, which is basically the same as the small ones, but you've got 4 of them in a singular block, which, yeah, we'll put some of those down and see what happens. There is no new industries for processing the oil, which is rather annoying. You don't get anything until you get to level 4. You don't get a maintenance building, which improves, I believe, efficiency, capacity of the system until level 4. And we've got no new storage. So all we've got is basically the ability to add more pumping capacity. So let's add a couple of these large oil pumps in. So these ones we can use. So again, they've got a little bit of information on it, how much the production rate is, how many trucks. They've got 25 trucks. They use a fair amount of water and a fair amount of electricity, but we can add them in, and they've got a particular size. So they are what? They look like they are 3 by 3. So we can add a few in here, and we'll add a few in opposite them, I think. So there we go. We've got a number of things just there. We're going to just put a little bit of dirt under them, because I don't think that looks quite right, being a green field like that. We're just going to square it off. It'd be nice if you didn't have to do weird things like that, so we can get that level. We can get it staggered at least anyway. Ooh, we got some stuff moving already, which is good. So yeah, so look at that, we have got a huge amount of trucks going around. Let's just see where they're all gonna head. So it looks like they're going to be hitting that particular oil cavern. Why is that? That's got 66%. That one's 52. That could do with a bit, and that's 72. Okay, so they are attacking a certain one. No idea why that is, but let's just check out. We can probably adjust again using the old magic of traffic manager. We can just do that and let it do its stuff. This could be a fairly busy crossroads just now, I think. So let's just get it going. We just maybe screen that so we can see into the distance a while and let it. Oh, look at all the. See, now this is the problem. When you get a lot of trucks in, we start getting a massive amount of issues, and I wonder whether they all seem to be exporting the oil. Interesting. We've got too much oil then by looks things. So look, yeah, we're sending a lot of trucks out now. A lot of trucks are going out because we probably haven't got the capacity to actually take enough of this and produce it. Although we could add maybe another processing plant into the mix, because we are. Let's have a look. Let's see what's going on. It says we're importing stuff, which I can't believe, but we're doing all right. So let's just let that go. We're not too far off. We're actually getting to level 4 by the looks of things. So let's just watch it for a few minutes or seconds for you. So we're not going to be too far away, actually. I think from getting the worker target and the resources, we'll get there. However, we can see that we are sending a lot of our raw oil out. It is not going to either the storage cabin or to any of the processing material areas like the petroleum and plastics. And I think it's because we are fairly full on all the cabins. Oh, that one needs a bit of filling up. But as we can see, most of the stuff which is coming out is actually heading out of the area, which is fine. We've got a fairly good road going out that has had some modifications on it to make sure the traffic works. But we could obviously do with storing something, or maybe we need another one of the cabins. We can try putting one in just to see if it will pull some of that traffic back, rather than doing the, just shipping everything out of town. So let's put another one of those little cabins in. So we've added that in. I wonder if that's now going to help move some of these vehicles back into that storage area. Again, we're not far away, we're slowly creeping up now. Look, some of this stuff has started to come the other way straight away. Let's just watch this briefly. As you can see, that actually is not in a very clever idea because it's causing a bit of a tailback. I'm going to use the old move it mod in just to rotate that around. It's going to cause a bit of chaos and confusion, mayhem. I'm going to move it, it's going to drag it out as far as I can get away with it, like that. That really just means the trucks can get off the road and do their turny bits, but as you can see, it's caused a bit of a problem. So we must be getting close. The workers have slowed down a little bit. We're only 11 away from hitting the target. We're a little bit away from the resource level, but I can see that it's like a synchronized red oil devil display team there on that junction. Trucker display team. Now you can see it does actually look that most of this transport now is all going around. It's going from pumps to storage, from storage to the manufacturing or the processes. It's looking good. Two employees away to get into level 4. There we go. We've hit it and we are about 800-ish away, 700 something away from hitting the resource units. I'm going to be quiet and let's watch it get there. So we've obviously got to the point now where we have got a lot of oil in our storage caverns and tanks and not enough processors. I'm hoping when we get to level 4 we will get a few bits and pieces. So level 4, it gives us the large oil drilling rig so we can replace some of the small ones. We get a new waste oil refining plant, not sure what that actually produces. We also get the oil industry maintenance building, which provides us with a storage capacity of 5% per building. And we also get the oil industry storage, which is looks like a shed of a description. It stores even more capacity and we can put a couple of those in as well, and no doubt also produces a lot of trucks. So another interesting thing is I can see on my statistics here that, well, we're still importing, which means we are not producing maybe enough of the stuff. So we need to produce some more. Maybe we need a little bit more storage, and maybe we can add one of the other plants in and see if we can start utilizing and balancing this up. So maybe we're not exporting stuff. The traffic at the top right there is not queuing to get out of the area. It is just ferrying stuff around from one place to another. Again, what we not far. We're almost there. Level 4. Here we come. We've done it. Level 4 is ours, and we can now hit in a few more of the bits and pieces. So let's just see what we can do. It's going to be pretty busy. I'm going to just expand out here. I think we're going to put in a couple more of those big new rigs. We're going to stick them up here. They take up quite a large amount of space. They're 4x4s, so they are the large oil drilling rigs that we've now got available to us. So we're going to put those in. This is really the last one I've got. We've got an offshore oil drilling platform, but I've not done one of those and we won't be able to do it. So we're going to stick a couple of these big boys in. So there you go. Look, these are going to be monsters, and we can have a look to see what their capacities are. What can we get here? They have only got 10 trucks. They produce a fair amount of oil, so they should be able to do some seriously good amount of production. I'm just going to add a little bit of the old gravel around, because I think it should have a bit of gravel in these places, just like that, just because I think they would probably be surrounded in not concrete necessarily because of the type that they are. So there you go, we've got production already happening, and I'll imagine a lot of these, let's just check to see where is this going. Export, export, export. Not brilliant, so I reckon we're going to need to put some storage in. So we've also been released these have got a good amount of storage, so let's stick one there, shall we? Can we get one there back to back? I like that, that looks pretty good. What can these do for us? These 24 trucks, they can store 500, I've not seen them before, 500 barrels, 400 barrels. Okay, so they're different metrics. We're going to release that. Let's just see what happens. So we should have a number of trucks going into here. These should be able to go in there. And now we could look at adding a waste oil refining plant. If we can fit that in the middle here, that would be really good. Let's just have a look. Wow, I was expecting that to be a tad larger. Let's put that there. So straight away we've got an issue, not enough oil to produce petroleum, and hopefully we should see that be changed imminently. There's a big old traffic jam going into that storage container just above it. Hopefully we're going to see some going from there to the waste oil refinery part shortly. Or not, they all seem to be going somewhere completely different. Where's that blue one going? That looks like it's going right. It's probably going to the other plant. So now we've got some items have been finally gone to the waste oil refining plant, if I can get the words out, and that is now producing petroleum, and hopefully that will mean that over here we're going to have a nice full storage yard of petroleum. Plastics looks a little bit low, and we've got plenty going in here, but the plastic products going out, and this one I could see that there's trucks going in and out of this quite nicely. So the question is, I think we probably need another one of these at the petrochemical plant, just so that we can increase our performance for the just getting petrol out basically. Which side should we put that? The left hand side looks quite quiet. I'm going to put that there. I think we're going to just do a little bit of the old concrete between them, something like that all the way across, and then we're going to fill up with gravel everywhere else. So I'm kind of hoping with the 4 production plants that we've got, all the storage caverns, that a lot of the goods should stay ideally within this location, but I can see that there is still a fair amount of stuff being shipped externally, but I guess that's what happens. We'll just give these a name. What we got a tank cavern, we call it the crude oil cavern storage 1 Cox. Okay, and we're going to call this one Cox 2, and we might as well call this one Cox 3. Well, that was actually the original, and we can call this one the SCOTF. SCOTF1, in case we have some more. So there you go. It is currently working. We've got the big boys doing their stuff. We've got the little ones doing their stuff. We've got the storage here. That one's almost full. Wow. That one's almost full. Wow. What we got? That one's almost full. Right. Okay. So we've obviously got a lot of product being produced, which is fantastic. Oh, look, we're not far away from the workers, which is really good. And well, that's dropped slightly. I think this is getting there. We'll let that just mull over for a while. So we are really, really close to hitting level 5. We are almost, 3,000 units away, but we are only 24 workers away from actually getting to level 5. I'm just going to add another barracks in. One thing we did miss is the oil industry maintenance building. That will add a few new workers, so hopefully that will just push us over the post and hit level 5. So adding in another barracks or 2, and the oil industry maintenance building has got to me about 10 workers. 11. No. 17. We're now is. Oh my god, we're now only 90. It's slow. It's going backwards. It's going back. Oh, it's going up again. But hopefully we're going to get there soon. And then when we get to level 5, what does level 5 open up? Basically, we can have something cracker plant, which is level 5. We can also have a large crude oil tank farm, which is pretty massive. And I think that's it. Oh, yeah. That is definitely all we can have on a level 5. We're getting it. We've got workers. I missed it. Workers are over. It's just now wait for the resources. Let's speed it up now. Speed it up to hit the target. I must admit, I just can't help fiddling with stuff. I just need to fiddle. I need to change those. They're wrong. And I was looking at this junction over here. I reckon if we just change these as well, so they're not the dodgy type, we get rid of the traffic lights. Boom, boom, boom. And we put the timed ones in. And we make them a quick timed one. Like that. And a quick timed one there. We should have, hopefully, slightly better traffic flow. So we've just hit a situation. I've noticed we've got a few things which are saying we've not got enough buyers, and that's effectively because the freight trucks, they've run out of freight trucks, and that's because storage is an issue by the looks of things. We're not taking the storage. Is that because we are full? This one is out of resources, not got enough oil coming in, which is a bit ridiculous considering there's loads of stuff here. That should have that should be able to go whoop straight across. Weird. But let's just go and have a look at these. Are these full? Nope. This one is still not enough special goods. So is that because which one are we missing? Petroleum. Are we running out of? Yeah, look, the freight trucks have all gone. They've all run out. We need freight trucks. So we got to the point where it was working really well. The old, more effective transport was working sweet as a nut. We've got to the point where something has happened and it's no longer playing by the rules. And if it was, then we wouldn't have plastic factories running low. We wouldn't have a warehouse completely empty of goods, which is rather unfortunate. But yeah, we're getting there. We're almost at a level 5, and then we can put the final finishing touches to the oil industry. One large crude oil tank farm and one naphtha burn cracker plant. We just gotta wait. We get there. Keep calm and carry on. So we've hit level 5. Finally, we've hit level 5. What does that give us? Well, we have now got the huge large crude oil storage, and we've got the nutcracker plant, which is awesome, and we're going to stick those in right now. The nutcracker, the largest of all of the plants in the oil industry, is going to sit, I believe, about here, just like that. There it goes, and we've got this big boy here, and we're going to stick that around about there. If you spotted it earlier, I had actually already put them in, but I forgot to record. Anyway, there they are. Hopefully we're going to be able to produce far more plastic, store far more, not have to do too much the way of importing. This can really boost, hopefully with the more effective transfers, we should be able to see petroleum and plastic coming in here. Lots of product being put through this. As we can see, plenty of petroleum, but it's the freight. We are out of freight trucks for petroleum. That is why we have an issue. We might be able to get around that, of course, by adding another warehouse somewhere nearby, so we can do that. But for the time being, we're going to let it run. So I'd just like to say a big thank you for sticking with me. We've got to level 5 of the oil industry. We've had factories, warehouses, supply and demand. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to hit the like button. If you want to see more of my videos, and of course you would do, then don't forget to hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified each and every time I post a new video. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. That would be a perfect end to a perfect video. So thanks very much for watching. See you again soon. Bye for now.